So, today we're going over my version of the top 20 hip hop artists in Colorado. Now, a couple things that I will mention before we get into it. I'm speaking from my personal opinion and what I think as a producer, non biased, whether I've worked with them or I've never met them at all. Couple things to keep in mind. I'm speaking on basically my career through the Denver, Colorado hip hop scene. So, roughly 20 years. So, we'll just call it 2005 to 2025. I'm sorry, I don't know much and wasn't involved in the hip hop scene in the 90s or 80s. So, I'm not even going to speak on that. I would feel like that should be something done by people who were in that era. Okay? So it's in no particular order, and I also am not very tapped in with the very younger generation of artists. I don't know very many of them. I'm not out in the scene going to everybody's shows. So here we go. All right, so we're gonna start with what I would call the pioneers of my generation. Once again, we're not talking about the 80s or the 90s. We're keeping it to my generation and newer. Okay, so these guys I would consider like the pioneers, the ones who kind of paved the way for artists like myself and anyone who followed. First, we're going to go with one of my personal favorites, Spoken Words. If you don't know much about Spoken Words, he, to me, is one of the best battle rappers, freestyle rappers in Colorado that I've ever heard. I've been in freestyle sessions with him at house parties, and that was one of the first times I thought I was really good at battle rap. Hearing him go up against the homies LOC and my cousin Smooth, and we're all just battling. Hearing him go humbled me greatly and made me realize, like, yeah, this dude, there's levels to this battle scene. So shout out to Spoken Words. I would consider him one of the pioneers, and especially in the battle rap freestyle scene. There's not many that can, say that they've done as much as he's done, and he's real heavy in the community. So if you don't know who Spoken Words is, go check him out. The next, one of my personal favorites, and definitely a Colorado pioneer, D.A. Dub. Shout out to my boy D.A. Dub. When I tell you work ethic, once again, my criteria are stage presence, work ethic, writing ability, like writing songs, versatility, do they have different sounding songs, influence, not only like, and we're not talking social media and TikTok and all of that, I mean within the community, within the city, and that they just like help and influence other people around them. It's not just all about them. That's huge for me. And just overall talent, how and potential. The last one would be potential. Okay, so of course, Spoken Words has that. D.A. Dub, when I talk about presence and just influence on the community and the Denver hip hop scene, if you don't know who D.A. Dub is, then you don't know Colorado hip hop. I'm just gonna say that. So shout out to Dub. He has many great songs. He's worked with pretty much all of the top, what would be considered the top artists in Colorado. I consider him one of the pioneers, and his music is very versatile. One of the best. Check him out. The next will be the homeboy, MC Dent. Now, MC Dent is one of the coolest, nicest, true hip hop at its truest. Like, if you looked up hip hop, there would be a picture of Dent in there with many others, but he would be in there. He keeps it hip hop to the fullest. He's all about positivity and love and peace and just spreading joy. He's huge in the community. He helps out with the Denver DJ School. He also helps out with the Denver Breaking School for kids. His music is dope. It's all about, it's like if you wanna get that true feeling of that hip hop essence and just good quality loving music, MC Dent is for you. And then the last one that I would put in this category would be Black Pegasus. Black Pegasus, I believe he's out of Colorado Springs. Same thing, true hip hop artist. Pen game is off the charts. Freestyles are off the chain. Another one who gives back to the community, puts on a whole bunch of shows, gives artists a platform. He also has a really cool podcast that he does where he talks about a lot of like real life issues. And he's just a real dude. I've met him a couple times, never actually worked with him, but from what I know of him, heard of him, and just see and just feel, he just seems like a good, solid dude. His music is dope. Okay, so then these next three artists would be considered what I would consider kind of like on the top, the ones that have the biggest names, done the biggest shows, and really stand apart from all the rest of us. And of course, that would be Trev Rich. Everybody in Colorado knows who Trev Rich is. He has a song on Madden. All his music it just sounds professional, sounds quality, mixed, mastered. He's got bars. Dude is top tier. He's one of the best for a reason. Mad respect to Trev Rich. I've never worked with him. I've met him once or twice. He seems like a cool dude. The next one would be Top Flight. Shout out to Top Flight. Now, I do know these dudes, especially Hypnotic. I don't really know Tef too much, but as we were doing our music with Hustle Entertainment back in the early 2000s, they were coming up, and just like watching them go from like, smaller to big time, and like being on shows with them, and just they've always remained humble, and especially Hypnotic, huge in the community. They created the concert app together where they give an actual platform for artists to hop on shows throughout the Denver scene. I know they're expanding it throughout the region. Hopefully they can make it nationwide. All love and respect to those two dudes. I know their group expands beyond those two, but those are the two at the center, the core of it. Always had good music, quality. Their music videos are, man, that's one thing. Their music videos are always top notch. Mad love for Top Flight. Like, once again, they're always in the community giving back. Hypnotic's always giving out like just gems. If you don't follow him on social media, follow him. He's giving out free gems of how to make it as a local artist and not have to be signed to a label. So go check them out. Top Flight, definitely. And then the third one that I would say is teetering, being on those guys' level is they call him AP. I didn't know much about him. I've seen him on other lists, and I've heard other artists, talk about him. So I went and checked him out. Man, he's cold. This dude's got bars. The way his cadence is, the way he flows, the way his voice sounds on the beats, like his beat selection is fire. Mad love to they call him AP. Hopefully one of these days I could work with him, get him on one of my beats. I think that would be dope. And then I remember saying that it's in no particular order, which I'm not ranking them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But those first two are like tiers. So you have the pioneers, the ones who are kind of created the path for us, and then you would have what I consider like the top tier artists that have done the most and kind of like have it right now. And then the rest of these are in no particular order. These are just artists that came to mind that have criteria in all of them. So the first one is going to be Albies for Shees. Albies, he is consistently dropping songs. His music video and his content is always top tier. He makes party songs. He makes real songs. Like, he's just a good, like, feel-good person. Very similar to Dent. They have that same kind of aura about them where they just people just gravitate towards them. And if you've never seen this dude perform, you need to see Albies for Shees perform. He's one of the best. His performances are top tier. So shout out to Albies. The next one would be Mike Skills. This is one, I feel this is a highly underrated, very little talked about, especially in the Colorado media. And I don't think he has a very strong social media presence. But what he does lack in social media presence, he makes up for in songs. I'm actually going to be working with him soon on some songs and some projects. And If you've never heard any of his songs, go check out Mike's skills. Pen game is off the charts. All right, the next one is gonna be Creeper. Um, if you didn't know who Creeper is or like what he's done, Creeper has, that song, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." That's Creeper. Him and Symes Carter sampled that song, and that's him. So we're talking billions of streams across all kinds of different platforms, including TikTok. He's consistently dropping songs. For whatever reason, a lot of people hate on this dude. I've never actually met him in person. I've heard his music. I think his music is pretty good. His music videos are always good. He's consistent. He's consistently dropping songs. He always has dope features. And there's no one else in Colorado that can say that their song has been used in other people's content that much and is that popular worldwide. Like, that alone has to put him on the list. So shout out to Creeper. The next one, shout out to my boy, The Architect. What can I say about The Architect? Dude's got pen skills. He can change his voice. He could sing a little bit. Very versatile when it comes to music. He's hip hop at its core. He also does videography. He does artwork, graphic design for other artists. He's very heavy in the community when it comes to his art. So if you didn't know who The Architect is, go check him out. One of the best. And then to spin off of that, we'll go with his brother, Manifest. Manifest the Five Mics. His beats, he makes beats for a lot of people in the city. One of my favorite producers to work with outside of myself. He's got wordplay, bars. He's been in the battle rap scene. I think he is one of he's going to be on my list as in my top 20 list. Next is going to be, this is one of the younger guys. I've had the pleasure to work with him, perform and share the stage with him, and I've been to his album release, and when I tell you he stands out, he's different when it comes to talent and just the way he approaches his music, is JG. JG has this ability to, similar to Albiz, to people, the crowd just gravitates towards him. He brings on a live band. He incorporates rock music with his hip hop. Live performances, really, really good. His songs are really, really good. He produces his own music, masters his own stuff. So shout out to JG. Definitely one of the top 20. The next is Surge Official. This is another one who I don't feel has a very strong social media presence. So a lot of y'all might be saying, who is Surge Official? Check him out. Go on Spotify, Surge Official. I'll be talking about my playlists I created with a lot of these artists on here. Surge Official, bars. His voice is very recognizable and it stands out. Bars, stage presence. There's very little that this man lacks outside of social media and just presence in that world. But musically, one of the best, for sure. The next is MC Uriah. MC Uriah, I've had the pleasure of featuring him on my album. Similar to myself and The Architect, this man is a Swiss Army knife. He does it all. He makes beats, graphic design, videography. His content over the last few months has skyrocketed, and his voice sounds really, really unique. Top tier artist in Colorado. If you haven't heard of him, if you're sleeping on him, go check him out. MC Uriah. The next one is At Ease. At Ease, he won the Get Busy Living, I forget the name of the showcase they did, but he won the very first one. And he has stage presence, bars, song, beat quality, beat selection, mixing and mastering sounds good. I don't know who produces his music or if he's just collecting beats from, random producers. But when it comes to songs and stage presence, second to none. He is one of the best in Colorado. Go check out At Ease. Next one, once again, another person similar to MC Uriah and the Architect, that is a Swiss Army knife and does a little bit of everything, is Jason Martin. I kind of question on putting Jason on this particular list because a lot of people would consider him more of a singer, but the dude raps. The dude can out-rap most dope rappers in Colorado, so don't hate on my selection of Jason Martin. If you don't know who Jason Martin is, content, photography, videography, singing, songwriting, dude does it all. One of the most talented individuals, period, outside of music and just in life that I've ever met and have the pleasure of working with on a few different projects, both musically, visually, and through photography. So shout out to Jason Martin. If you're sleeping on my boy Jason, go check him out. All right. The next one is going to be A-Meezy. A-Meezy, bars. Consistency. He's always dropping something. His music videos are dope. He's been on some of the biggest songs in Colorado. I've had the pleasure of working with him. He's a humble dude. He's real cool and quick. When I tell you, when we worked on the song for My City, for my album, went to Get Busy Living studio, met him there, showed him the song. Within like 30-40 minutes, done. Wrote it right there on the spot. And just a real cool dude. His people around him are real cool to be around. So shout out to A-Meezy. I'm sure a lot of y'all know who that is. And then these next two, shout out to the females, are younger artists. One of them I've worked with, met, even had her on my podcast, Celestina. This young lady has got bars. When I just remember that name, Celestina, because as she grows and works on her craft and really truly finds herself as an artist, the sky's the limit with this one. She's young, she's beautiful, she's talented, and she's got that it factor. So keep an eye out for Celestina. If you don't know who she is, go check her out. This next one, never met her, but I would love to do a song with her. She goes by the name Monica the Great. The Architect has had the pleasure of doing some artwork for her, so I kind of found out who she was through him, and kind of just started listening to her music. Her social media presence needs to be studied. If you are an artist struggling like myself with that part of it, the social media and the content creation and what works, what doesn't work, how you should do it, check her out for that specifically, but also check out her music. She is versatile both in English and in Spanish. Just a fun, great music, great beat selection, just like Celestina, young and has that it factor. So shout out to those ladies, and that will be my top 20 list. The next group is groups. Is just that, groups. I didn't really want to put groups outside of Top Flight because they're different. They're in that different category for a reason. So shout out to the Diamond Boys. If y'all don't know who the Diamond Boys are, these dudes got bars. They're super dope. I'm not sure if they're still active as a group. I know as individuals, they still do music. But that was one of my favorite groups from 2005 to 2015. Dudes got it. The next one is Arapaho Trues. Shout out to the Arapaho Trues. I've never met them. I've been in shows with them early in my career when I was with Hustle Entertainment. And these guys as a group, they're second to none. They've been on some of the bigger shows in Colorado. All of them have talent. Shout out to the Arapaho Trues. The next one, a lot of people are sleeping on in Colorado. I had trouble categorizing them directly in hip hop because they kind of dabble in a few different areas. But even their hip hop is top tier, and their stage presence can compete with anyone locally that I've ever seen, and that is Astro Grizz. Shout out to Astro Grizz. They have mad stage presence, mad skills, very versatile. Their music videos are always on point. If you don't know who Astro Grizz is, go check them out. And then these next few artists are not originally from Colorado, so I could not put them on a Colorado list. But they rep for Colorado, and they are just as talented as everyone on this list. And the first one is going to be Knowledge. If you don't know who Knowledge is, you need to know who Knowledge is. Bars. I believe he's from Georgia. One of the very humble dude. Stage presence is dope. Bars, all that. The next is a good friend. We go way back like two flats on a Cadillac. Freddie K. Shout out to my boy Freddie K. You want to talk about immersed in the Colorado hip hop scene. He still does music from time to time. He's not originally from Colorado. He's originally from Houston, Texas. But the dude's got very, very unique voice, bars, wordplay. He has that Texas sound, and he has given a lot, and is still giving a lot of artists opportunity on shows, features, music videos. He's very tapped in the hip hop scene, both here and in Texas. So shout out to my boy Freddie K. The next one, I'd never met him. I don't know him personally, but I think his music is really dope, and his presence in the scene is pretty big. He's another one who gives a lot of artists opportunity, is Zeno Dopest. Shout out to Zeno Dopest. I want to say he's from San Diego or California somewhere. I may be wrong. I apologize if I got that wrong, bro. But Zeno Dopest has A1 Studios. From what I've heard, it's top-notch gear, top-notch everything. Everything I've heard that comes out of that studio is good. Mixed well, production is good. He's given opportunities to artists for shows. So shout out to Zeno Dopest. And the last one, not from Colorado, but definitely puts on for Colorado. He even made a song called Colorado. That's Troy Good. I've actually had the opportunity to work on a song with Troy Good. Very professional. He also gives a lot of different artists opportunities on his shows. Very talented. Has dope songs. He definitely is another one that the people gravitate towards. His content, his run he had in 2020 to like 2023 with his content that also needs to be studied. So shout out to Troy Good. Unfortunately, bro, I would love to put you, because everyone that's not on that list, that's on the honorable mentions in the groups, are not from Colorado, definitely are a top 20 artist, right? I just had to be very particular with my list. So shout out to Troy Good. Shout out to all the other artists that aren't from Colorado, but that put on for the city. Much love and respect to y'all. So there it is. That is my list of top 20 artists. We'll say top 21 because I'm throwing myself in there at the end. That I feel really embody what it is to be like a full artist, a true artist in Colorado. I've worked with, I'd say, half of those names. The other half I'd love to work with, or I am planning to work with in the future. So if you know any younger individuals, because I know the young artists are going to feel like I'm hating on them. I'm just not aware of a lot of you. Just like I said, I don't do as many shows as I used to, and I'm definitely not out in the scene like I used to. I'm just at home making music, giving other artists opportunity, doing a podcast, doing content, raising my kids. Like I wish I had the time and the energy to be out in the scene like a lot of y'all do, but unfortunately I don't. So if you are one of those artists, comment your name or a link to your music. I'll definitely check you out, and I'll definitely add you to my Colorado playlist. It's all love over here, no hate. I'm just not aware with the younger artists. So, and if you aren't a younger artist and you feel like you should be on my list, I possibly don't know who you are. Once again, put your name and your music in the link, and if you're from Colorado, I will put you on the Colorado list. And that list is not, you don't have to be born and raised in Colorado. If you live in Colorado and you put on for the city, you will be added to my Colorado playlist. I'm not as picky with that as this particular list. So there you go. Super Producer Styles Unique. I hope you like my list. If you didn't, please tell me why. And I hope giving insight and not just posting a picture of a top rated list without any actual explanation as to why. I think it's a little bit different when you yourself are an artist and are a part of that scene. You have a different perspective than the media outlets. So I hope you liked it. And leave a like, leave a comment, and definitely subscribe to my channel, y'all.